my block journey is hilarious because I didn't actually get the audition at all. Because she was 14 and I'm like 16, you know? They were like, maybe we don't put her in here for that. But my friend Victoria Morales was going on, and she's an incredible Latina actress as well. And she read Jasmine, and she was like, girl, this is not me, this is you. And I was like, what? So I read this pilot, and I just fell in love with each one of these characters. And it was so funny to me because they would have all been side characters in someone else's show.
Yes, absolutely.
We would have each been a white person's friend on everyone else's show. And I was just so blown away with, you know, just the storytelling and their relationship, and that it was a black and brown show. And I love that because you don't see us being friends with each other, you know?
Yeah.
So that meant a lot to me. So I got the audition, but at the same time, after Liv and Maddie, after Liv and Maddie and Betch, which is an all-female sketch group that I was in as well, did a lot of improv. That's where I really started to write. I started getting, you know, kind of more comfortable in my power and know that improv is something I love to do. And I started seeing auditions differently. Like when I go into an audition, I try not to cast it before I go in. I feel like a lot of actors do that. Like they're like, oh, they're going to want this. They're going to want me to be this way. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be how I want to play it. Like if I got this part, this is the part that I would want to play for the next however many years this series goes for. So I went in and improv'd a lot, and they actually loved it, thank God. And we're so encouraging of it. And that kind of, you know, really, you know, had me fall back in love with improv, and like getting the show has been like such a great eye opener to just trust your gut and then also lead with, you know, what you are more, you know, I say, you know, every 10 seconds, lead with your gut. If this is who, you know, you want to play, if this is how you want to do it, then do it. Don't try and be somebody else in there.
Right. So that show I love because of what you said. It is a black and brown show. Those kids remind me of me when I was a kid. I grew up in the hood, but I was always very smart, as many of us in the hood are, because they, you know, because when you see the kids in the hood on television, we're always gang members. And even when we're gang members, that doesn't mean we're dumb. Sometimes we're just surviving. But that show, the conversations are so elevated. You know, you got these kids talking about things from a perspective of intelligence and fullness. So that world, you know, when I read the script because I auditioned for Monse's mother, and I didn't get it. And so when that bitch died, I was like, yes, bitch, she's dead. That's what
the same thing I do. If like I don't book it, I'm like, I'm not watching it.
I was like, she died. Anyway, it didn't last that long. But it was funny when I read the script. I was like, whoa, like, you know, you're talking about areas in the country where there are many of us in marginalized communities who are not necessarily privileged with having the best schools and live in the best neighborhoods, but are still able to make it in spite of. So you end up in this world, and you guys, when you read those scripts, sometimes do you think like, wow, we are really having some elevated conversations to be 14 and 15 years old?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't think at 14 I would also ever have like a masturbation conversation with my friends.
No,
they're all about it. And I'm like, okay. I peed in a sink season 1. Like,
yeah, I remember.
Not too many people that just do that, but you know.
But I think in tackling these issues, we're able to deter a lot of things from happening. Because if you're able to talk about sex with people who are 14 and 15, then you can, you know, alleviate not just pregnancy, but STDs and stuff like that. And, you know, we saw that you see the Monse having a sexual relationship with her boyfriend, and you falling in love with Ruby, and, you know, the whole thing, which is my favorite couple, you know.
Oh, thank you. You ship us.
Yeah. And then, you know, the other thing that I love is that Monse is Afro-Latina on the show.
Right.
You know, she has a Black father and a Latina mother. And, you know, the whole spectrum is represented on the show. You know, there's a dark-skinned Black person on the show that's speaking and not a clown, right?
And there could always be more. There could always be more.